Okay, we're going to introduce our second team. This is BoutiquePlus. The team members are Shou Quinn Ching, Yenny Handika, Mong Mong Wang, and Yi Bing Soon.
Welcome. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon. We're Team BoutiquePlus. Today, we're so excited to be here to present our business idea, which is to provide smart and affordable digital marketing solutions to the emerging boutique hotels in China. Before I begin, I would like to take you back to the summer of 2017. When I was a sophomore, I have a great opportunity to intern at one of the best boutique hotels in China called Linden Center. Since its opening in 2008, Linden Center has been offering the travelers a true immersion to experience the local Chinese experience, and it has been recognized by the CNN and the National Geographic as a top destination to visit in China. However, unfortunately, like many other boutique hotels in China, even though they have very good reputation, they have problem to convert that reputation into revenues due to two reasons. The first is lack of social media presence, and second one is the lack of professional professional hospitality management skills. That's why we found BoutiquePlus. And in the next few minutes, our team will walk you through the market opportunity, the market pain point, and how our business will thrive in China.
So nowadays, in Chinese tourism market, 85% of the travelers are millennials and Generation Z, who aged between 18 to 35 years old. And they crave for unique travel experience. And they have a strong experience on how they authentic entails, and they are preferring the feeling of living like a local provided by the boutique hotels. They do not want to live in the hotel rooms which looks the same every time they travel. Since the millennials and the Generation Z have become the dominant force in the market segment, they further stimulate the growth of Chinese boutique hotels. And the number of the boutique hotels in China has tripled in the last 3 years and up to 90,000 until 2018. And most of them are located in Yunnan and the Zhejiang province, where the millennials love to travel with seeing the Asian capitals, culture sites, and natural scenery. As you can see, a lot of them are featured with the stylish design and upscale accommodation. However, they have a relatively smaller scales. More than 50% of the Chinese boutique hotels have only less than 30 rooms. And it is very rare in China to find a boutique hotel that has more than 100 rooms.
Although China has a lot of potentials, there are still three main reasons why BoutiquePlus still needs to exist. The first one is the lack of marketing expertise. Hiring professional team for independent boutique hotels is very costly because there are such small scales of only average 20 rooms, and there is high labor turnover rate. The second one is because there are too many social media channels emerging at high rate, such as Xiaohongshu and also Weibo, but there's so little time to invest efforts in them to do marketing efficiently. The last one, there's also communication gap between marketing and revenues department because the analysis method that doesn't provide enough marketing insights that can boost the revenue. So BoutiquePlus is here as a solution because we provide two solutions. The first one is actually the social media content creations that helps to promote and target the market. And the second one is data-driven analytics that help to translate guest reviews into revenues. This is one of the examples of the guest review that we actually translate from the Chinese version of the Linden Center. And we gathered this guest review from a lot of sources such as Booking.com, Agoda, Ctrip, and Qunar. Our algorithm analyzed, extract, and visualized this guest review into 4 parts, which is hygiene, location, and then facility and food. As you can see, the green one is the positive ones, but the red one are negative. So Linden Center should really focus on the red ones, which is the food and location. So this provide actually the problems that they have, this report, and then so solving this problem to that will actually increase their site visits and also potentially revenues and profits.
So using the insight from the social media data analytics, we are able to implement a data-driven SWOT analysis to help Linden Center boost its revenues. As you can see from the graph, the Linden Center is really famous for its boutique design and the uniqueness of the architecture. However, most of the rooms are sold on OTA, which means it only relies on a single reservation channel to sell most of the rooms. And this OTA, such as Expedia.com, Booking, charge like 20% of the commission fee. So most of the revenue goes to the pocket of OTA instead of retaining at the hotels. So as the BoutiquePlus team, we help the hotel design a direct booking engine where the guest can book direct, which connects the hotel and the guest directly. We also use it as a marketing platform where hotels can consistently update the seasonal promotions or marketing campaigns. Actually, this food tour now accounts 5% of the total revenues. We also implement a loyalty program to the hotel where the hotel can keep and retain the loyal customers. Generally speaking, a food and beverage department in a hotel contributes about 25 to 40% of the total revenue. However, it is not the case with Linden Center. The restaurant only contributes less than 10% of the revenue. The reason is really simple, because it has zero social media presence and people have no idea where to find it or what's on the menu. So we create a new marketing campaign. By first, we collecting more than 15,000 online reviews. So we did a very detailed competitive analysis to find out what's the most popular dishes favored by the millennials or Gen Z. Then we did a very detailed internal analysis to find what's the most popular and profitable dishes to put on the menu. Then we launched this new restaurant campaign feature with high quality pictures that attracts to millennials and Gen Z and other age group travelers. We also promote the restaurant and the local search engine to optimize its exposure. And the results were amazing. We're able to achieve 12% increase in restaurant sales and 21% in RevPAR increase and more than 600% on ROI return. So the reason why we achieve such huge financial success really relies on our competitive advantage, which are professional, local, and updated technology.
Because the market that we go into is still untapped, so it's like blue ocean for BoutiquePlus itself. For now, we don't have any direct competitors, but of course we do have indirect competitors. In China, we have existing review management system, such as Whipping and Pingtel, but they only focus on reviews for hotel chains. And we do have website builders, such as Meamei, but they only do other stuff that are in general, not hotel website builders only. So we combine these tools and then provide another differentiations that we provide on this slide to the services that we provide. And in USA, there are so many high-tech digital marketing firms that do the same thing as us, but what makes us really different from them? The first one is that we actually have a strong knowledge about the local market in China and also business dynamics in China. And then we also have access to remote areas, which they don't have. So regarding our business development strategy, we focus on southwestern China, such as Yunnan and Zhejiang, because they have so many independent boutique hotels right there. So far, this map shows our current market clientele in our portfolio, and our client pays us $470 each month for our services, and this is much, much less cost than hiring your own professional team or also for OTA's commission, because they can cost from 81 times to 107 times more than our cost.
More than 50% of our revenue will be generated from data analytics. And on our cost side, we spend heavily on software development and marketing campaign. In order to break even, we need to reach on average 25 clients this year. And currently we already have 26. So we are aiming to achieve 35 by the end of 2019. And in 3 years, we are aiming to scale up to 80 clients. Given the positive net income and growth trend shown in our past, we are confident to say that we can offer on average 18% profit margin and stabilize the company in 5 years with a valuation of $1 million. However, we are still seeking financing to fund our marketing campaign and software development. Our forecast shows that the cash shortage will occur in June 2019, and the shortage is the maximum 10,000. So that 10,000 is really the amount that we need to save our company in the long run. And in return of that, we're willing to offer 7.31% equity stake in our company, and we ensure a return of 18% equity return.
So this is our team members, and here's our board advisors that are coming from hotel background and also CS. And the milestones of BoutiquePlus, we acquired finances from a lot of investors, from angel and nudging investors, and also the one that we won from pitch deck competition. And we now manage 26 hotels in total. So BoutiquePlus is here, and we're the solution, and we are here for service. So who's ready to be on board? Because we're here to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you. We're open to questions.
Hi, good job. Very good job. I believe very much in your team, and I believe that you can do this.
Thank you.
I do have some questions.
Thank you.
You say you have 26, and in your plan it was very confusing to get a handle on where you actually are. It's also very confusing to get a handle on exactly what you're offering. You talk quite a bit about social media. There's a tremendous need for it and a tremendous opportunity. But with Linden Center, you were doing a website, you were doing all sorts of add-ons from website design, loyalty programs, direct bookings. That's not social media. So could you talk about really do you really have 26 today? You actually have 26 customers?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. So, let me see. So this map shows our current client base. So these are our portfolios. We have 4 hotel brands. These are the brand names in Yunnan, in Zhejiang, and in Beijing. Each brand, they have 3 to 5 hotels under their portfolios. So that's the reason why we achieved 26 hotels under our portfolio, but only probably 10 to 13 brands, and these brands are expanding rapidly. Okay. They are opening more hotels in the next 3 to 5 years. Okay. And regarding to your second question, our service really depends on the individual needs of the hotels. So different hotels have different problems. For example, the Linden Center, they really lack of a social media presence. And when we investigating deeper to the problem, we found they paid a huge amount of commission fee to the OTAs. That's why we help them build a direct booking engines that saved 80,000 revenues.
I see what you did for them.
So,
I see what you did for them,
yeah,
but
so,
for $470 a month, I'm just
yeah.
going to cut in because we have to go so fast with these questions. For $470 a month, are you going to charge much more money, or are you going to have add-ons?
No,
that is not clearly articulated.
Yeah, our service fee is a fixed. It's a fixed cost. It's it's a range, but usually it's average $400 per month. So that's
even if you build a website.
Yeah, we build a website, we do the
whatever,
campaign.
You're going to do anything they want.
Yeah, it's
for
$400 per month, and we really seeking for a long-term investment. So if the hotels is working with us, so we're achieve a kind of partnership. So Linden Center has been working with us for 3 years. So every month, each hotel will pay us an average of $400 to $500. So if you're looking at long run, maybe 10 to 20 years, that's significant cash flow rather than the OTA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is important to the millennial traveler or Gen Z when it comes to website? You talked about OTAs and the amount of business that's currently coming through OTAs and these hotels' dependence on OTAs.
Okay.
How can you shift that to a website? And my other question about website design is, will you have a website template that these properties can fit into?
Do you want to?
Yeah, so this slide actually shows how Generation Z and millennials are impacted for their consumer purchase decisions impacted by social media itself. So millennials actually, 27% of them are actually, when they want to travel, they actually post it on social media, and then they're actually canvass opinions about oh, so how's the travel? Is it good, or is this place good or no? But then millennials, Generation Z is more they're attracted by the advertising itself. So if they see it on social media, our website, oh, it looks good, or I want to go, so I'm gonna book that travel. So it's more that affects the consumer purchase decisions itself for them, for their generations, for these 2 age groups.
And then what about when you develop a website, are you using a template that you're going to create? Could you talk about that process? And I had one other follow-up question on that too, is you talked about a strategic alliance with Penguin Plus. Mm-hmm. How does that affect your services provided?
So for the website, we do have like template, but it's like customizable and personalized. We don't want like create the same website for like the different hotels, but we want to showcase the hotel's unique character and its personality. And we do have a template which saves us tons of money and resources to. We don't have to like develop that website our own, but the content to put on our website is like customized, including the pictures, what kind of information or to put on the website. Yeah. Sorry, was still like follow up.
Yeah, the second question was about, you talked about Penguin Plus asset management.
Yeah.
What services would be provided for asset management in
So,
addition to social media
okay.
and your analytics?
So one part of our service is like data analytics. So we're collecting data from different boutique hotels. So it's really a matter of how you use this data, how you extract value from this data to provide the operation insight. So as regard to the asset management, I can give you one case. So like the clients we're working with, like 99% of them don't do CapEx budgeting. So, but CapEx budgeting is so much important, so critical to a hotel. So thinking about like 3 to 5 years, when you like want to implementing a new launch, when you're like renovating your guest restrooms. So that's where like CapEx asset management comes to the place. We need to provide the data to like the hotel owners. For example, how much percentage of the total revenue you have to put on reserve for like the future fundings. So it's the reason that like the many boutique hotel owners in China, they know how to build fancy and boutique hotel, but they don't know how to manage that hotels. One of the reasons is they lack the access to like the big database. Like in the United States, we have like STR or host report. We're kind of doing like the similar thing, but we're collecting that data which serves to the boutique independent hotel market, where they can access the data and know where they are in the market and what they should do in the next years. And that's why I think that data is so important to them. That provides like operation insights, to support their decision making. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm an ops person, so some of the questions that I didn't really get answers to were how and where do the ops people work? What do you supply to them? The programmers, how do you scale? Since the work seems to be individual, and from what I can figure out, there's 6 properties for one person.
Yeah, it's basically, do you want to?
Yeah, we're like putting one person account for 6 properties at the same time, and we are doing remote working right now, so everyone has access to a laptop, which we company put as a CapEx, and we don't have an office place for everyone. We just do everything remote, and everyone just puts in travel expense, which is also a business development expense for us to acquire customers. And they can be on property or around that region if they're doing business development and account management for that area.
So I sort of had to go backwards to figure out what you would pay an employee, and based on your numbers, it sounded like $10,000. Is that correct? It seems awfully low for those kinds of skills, but I'm not aware of the Chinese rate.
So like in Chinese, is the average pay in Yunnan is like monthly is $300 a month. The average like income, So that's why we based it in China, because the salary expense is kind of really low. For that. Yeah, in China, yes. So when I was did the internship in Linden Center, my salary was like $10 per week. Yeah, that's like the average, in China, yeah.
Have you considered working with other third-party vendors for some of your services, or do you intend to do everything in-house?
Currently, we're not thinking about outsourcing because we're still we want to establish that the trust and mutual trust between our clients. So we want to do our best our job and to provide the highest quality to our clients. In the future, we're still not thinking about outsourcing because our core competitive advantage really relies our talent, skills. Yeah. And our competitive advantage really is about the people. It's about the people skills. For example, we have PhD students and from the Zhejiang University and the managing director from the Harvard. We have a group of advisors, and I don't think that's a third party or outsourcing. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.